Top One Futures just came out with a 150K Ignite account instant funding option. And for many of you out there, I think it's going to be very appealing, especially with these Ignite accounts being tailored, for me at least, towards the newer trader or that trader that's trying to get one of their first or second payouts, just because the cost is lower than the regular instant funded. So I have videos on all of these accounts. I'm just doing an update on this Ignited one because they're adding a 150K account. But real quick, on the instant funded, you can see the prices just jump up a little bit. So for someone that comes to me on stream saying they've never taken a payout, they've been struggling, I'm never going to suggest take the most expensive account because chances are you're not going to take a payout. I don't want you losing the most amount of money. So this is a great feeler account because the lower profit target to get to payout, and it's going to cost you a little bit less money. It's still instant funding. There's no activation fee. It's still a consistency score, right? So I think we see a lot of people on stream take one of their first payouts through here. So real quick, we do a quick breakdown on the new 150K account. So the rest of these have been here already. But on the 150K account, the trailing drawdown has been bumped up a little bit. Then now you get 6,000 of total drawdown on your 150K account. It was normally 4,500. Now you have 6 grand. Very much room to breathe. 3,000 daily loss limit on any of these accounts. I'm never going to suggest even come close to it, right? That's just there at the maximum, but you should never really probably lose more than 2,000 if you're trading on a 150K account. You got a lot of room to breathe. You look at it as the max drawdown overall at 6K. Even if you do risk 2 grand a day, it'll only take 3 bad days to lose the account. And if that's not enough, you'd rather lose it in 5 days or 7 days, then you shrink that size on down. Plenty of contracts, 7 minis, 70 micros. You're good on that. End of day drawdown. Beautiful. We don't want intraday. That's why I also don't suggest many people take the Sim Pros. Just real quick, because you could see intraday trailing drawdown here in the middle. So don't want that. Going to be harder for the newer trader. Let's go with end of day. Now the consistency score is a 15%. It's a little bit smaller than the instant funded, but by 5%. That's not the end of the world. Right now, you could copy trade up to 10, right? So depending on when you're watching this, that may not still be the case. You'll be at least able to copy 6. But if you want to do 10, that's why I have this drawn out here. And if you have any questions on the consistency rule, the simplest I could put it is, what is the profit target? Let's go on over here. So let's just take this 50K, for example. The profit target's $2,500. So we're going to multiply $2,500 times 15%, because in this case, it's a 15% consistency rule. That should give you about $375. So $375 should be the biggest day that you have. At most, you don't have to have a day of $375. You can never have a day of $300, $200, whatever. Just one day should never be bigger than that. That's it. That's your ceiling. That way you can prove consistency and you'll be good. But now let's look at it here. These are the costs, again, like I said, as of February, when my code right now is running 45% off. Of course, that could change, but just always plug in my code and it'll give you the best deal that they're running. So we'll see. But let's go over the payout amount. So it's going to be a little bit smaller of a payout amount, but you're spending less money on the account. So what do you expect? Right? We're going for our first or second payout. We can't expect it all. But it's $500 for the 25K account. I don't really see many people trading those, but again, it's 120 bucks right now. So if you want to try to take your first payout for 120 bucks, by all means, you just got to make $1,200, $1,250. You could pull out 500 bucks. Not too shabby. Low cost, low target, low payout, but that's fine. The 50K, just don't double it. 220 bucks right now, but regardless, a $2,500 target. Where on the instant fund, you'd have to make $3,000. This one's a little bit lower at only $2,500. Of that $2,500, you're going to pull out or be able to pull out in a payout $1,000. Not too bad. Now with this $1,000 away from the $2,500 that you made, you're going to still have $1,500 left in there. That's yours to potentially go build it up again and take another payout. That's what I also think is the beautiful part about these Ignites, where you could take a payout, it's capped, but you're going to have plenty of drawdown left to potentially build it up and take another one. Maybe start getting yourself in talks to pre-live. I don't know. Who knows? But with the instant funded, and it's not like an end-all be-all that you have to do it, but just real quick, go back to their website. On the instant funded, you're going to take, let's say for a 50K account, actually might even have it over here. Are these instant funded accounts? It is. So these are the instant funded. Don't get confused by these numbers on top or the left. Right here, 50K. You got to make $3,000 and you can pull out $2,500. So that's a beefier payout, but it's a beefier account. You got to pay 400 bucks for that. But anyways, you're going to have $500 left to draw down if you take a payout when you're first eligible. not the end of the world, but you're probably going to lose that account if you only have 500 bucks left to draw down. But you're saying, yeah, I'm fine with that. I made 2,500 bucks. Thank you very much. So that's why I say on these Ignite accounts, you're going to have plenty of drawdown left in that you could probably revive that account again and take another payout. So if that's something that you'd rather do than just rinse and repeat, Ignites could definitely be tailored more towards you. Now with the new one, the 150K size, the account's not new, just the size that you're able to trade it. There wasn't a 150K option. The target is 7,500. Where on the big boy accounts, the instant fundeds, you have to make 9. So it's still a lower target, and you could take out $2,000. You're going to have plenty of drawdown left in there. You're going to have $5,500 of drawdown after that payout. You should not lose that account. You should be able to build it up, hopefully, again, and take another payout. But regardless, if you want the bigger account, by all means. I like to sit in the sweet spot of saying, all right, you're new to trading or you're struggling, whatever, go with a 50K. It's bigger than a $500 payout because for many of you, unfortunately, you're more than $500 deep into these accounts, just overall. That a $500 payout may not really do anything for you, unfortunately, but maybe 1,000 would, maybe 1,500 would. Who knows? So that's up to you. But like I said, copy trade. Right now, you can copy trade up to 10. Insanity, but probably going to be at 6 at some point, back to 10, who knows? But let's say you just do 3. If you copy trade 3 of the 25Ks, that payout becomes 1,500 bucks. All right, now it's not too bad at all. Or you copy trade 3 50Ks, my favorite size, $3,000 off of still making $2,500 per account. Give me 1,000 out of each, and you still have $1,500 of drawdown in each account. Now, of course, you can see it keep on going. The 100K account, if you copy trade 3, you could take out 4,500 or 6,000 if you copy trade all the 150K accounts. Now, where it gets a little absurd, which is why it's crazy that Top 1 Futures is allowing 10 copied accounts right now on these payouts. If you copy trade 10 of the 50Ks and take out 2K from each, you do the math. $20,000 payout on these 150K accounts. And after the $20,000 payout, what did we say? Look at the difference between these two numbers on how much drawdown you're still going to have in those accounts. You're taking out $2,000 from each, but each account has 7,500. Plenty of room. Maybe too much room. That's kind of crazy. So, for anyone willing, you can copy trade 10 of the biggest accounts and go get $20,000. I don't even think I have copy trade 10 over here as an option because you can copy trade 5 of the 150Ks instant funded and take out 17K. So pretty close on only half the accounts though. Right, you're copy trading 5 for 17, way more accounts for a little bit more money. I don't want to confuse anybody by going back and forth, but I think it is important to see the difference between instant funded and ignites. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Maybe that's this video, who knows? But realistically, I think you guys should swim in here. This is the sweet spot. I'd say the middle, right? Some will go with the biggest accounts, try to get the biggest payouts, that's fine. I think you're maybe causing a little bit more work for yourselves of having to make 7,500, right? Same thing with the instant funders, having to make 9. Go for it if you want. And then on this side, unfortunately, I think just not big enough, right? No one's really going to get celebrated over a $500 payout because like I said, many of you probably spent 500 bucks last month on accounts. So yes, it'd be good to replenish some of that, but ideally you want to be making some money, right? So I think if you can make $1,000 per account, copy trade 3 of them, you're looking at $3,000. And you start multiplying that by, all right, the next month I'm going to go with maybe instant fundeds. I'll go with 3 instant fundeds next month and try to take out $2,500 from each. Now we're talking about $7,500 a month. Okay, not too bad right here. Not too bad, not too bad. And they just start getting a little bit more comfortable. More size, more accounts, boom. You slowly but surely start scaling it, all right? So here's all the options. We're not going to go through all the numbers. You can screenshot it and see. If you copy trade 600Ks, what can I take out? There you go. Those are all the payout amount that you would get. And that's all based off of this profit target goal of what you'd have to make on that account, all right? So like I said, these prices are subject to change on like what you have to pay. But right now they're 45% off with my code. The instant funders are 35% off. So one way or another, you're getting a great deal. My code always runs the best deal. So who knows? Maybe when you're watching this in March or April, it's a bigger sale. Always test it out, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. I have a whole YouTube playlist on these account types, on the Sim Pros, another instant funded one, and another Ignite one, and a new one coming out soon on a different account type. So stay tuned for that. But I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.